He knocked out Dean Winstanley last night, 6-5. Just having a bit of fun with the crowd is Steve Douglas, who's going to follow the walk-on girls off. Dean Winstanley missed 2 match darts to win that, but it was Douglas who edged through in the 11th and deciding leg.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we know who's going to be playing the winner of this one. It is Wes Newton, following that superb display against Jarkko Kamula, the first seeded player to go through this afternoon from the second round.
That's the bullseye.
Well, Steve Douglas, for all his dancing, for all his banter on stage, walking the fine line between a big joke and a restraining order with the walk-on girls, he manages to slam one in the bullseye and he gets the advantage of throwing first. So Douglas with the first darts of the match. Pretty good darts they are as well. How is Steve Beaton going to start in the defence of his title? The seeded player comes in as the second round. Not done much good for the vast majority of seeded players so far this weekend.
Steve Beaton recently celebrated his 50th birthday.
59.
18 years now since he lifted that Lakeside World Championship back in 1996. He's a regular on the Pro Tour and also a regular at these European Tour events. He's had second round exits so far in the first 2 events, in Hildesheim to Jelle Klassen, I should say, and then in Veldhoven going out to Kevin Thomas.
99.
Yeah, so yet to win a game on the European Tour this year, but he did have this purple patch last year on the European Tour especially, where he went semi-final, quarter-final, semi-final, and then got the one he won, the German Darts Masters. Superb purple patch for the bronzed Adonis. He'll be looking to replicate that this year. Still believes he's got a major title in him. And look at this. 139. That'll leave him Shanghai if Steve Douglas can't take out this 110.
Well, he was looking for the bullseye there, but he does now need tops if Beaton doesn't get Shanghai on the 20s, which would finish with double top. There's the first 2 parts of the move, and there's the third. A masterclass in a Shanghai checkout from Steve Beaton, and a break of throw immediately at the start of this game.
Well, it looked tricky after the first dart, but his second one, plumb in the little red bit. Only 1 dart for the double. Only 1 dart needed.
100.
Steve Douglas did manage to beat Dean Winstanley in the first round here. Went all the way
59.
to 6-5. He did survive a match dart to lose 6-4 against Over the Top. Hit 5 180s in that match, despite an average only in the high 80s. But yeah, once he got his first dart exactly where he wanted it, Steve Douglas, he was pretty ruthless in following it up with another 2.
81.
I mentioned Steve Beaton, 18 years since he won the Lakeside World Crown. Well, the year before that, Steve Douglas was a WDF Youth Cup winner. So he's certainly been around for a long time. And had rather a life-changing experience in December 2012 when he suffered a heart attack, but still played at the Lakeside World Championships a month later.
Yeah, managed to win his first round match as well. He's in a spot of bother here though.
81.
Well, 81 doesn't get him down to a finish, so Steve Beaton can take his time here. He's already taken out 120. Well, maybe 2 double tops. Well, he went for 16s.
49.
Yes, Wes Newton seeing off Jarkko Kamula in our previous match on stage here at the Marathon Hotel, and we'll take on the winner of this one as the third round on Easter Monday afternoon begins to shape up nicely. Another double top, the second in a row, executed with no problems whatsoever for Beaton.
Yeah, 2 for 2, both on double top, and he leads 2-0. Decent start to this third leg from Douglas, though, as he looks to get his first leg on the board.
60.
And even by his usual standards, Steve Beaton is looking especially bronzed this weekend, I have to say.
I think Beaton might actually be a shade of creosote. If you go down B&Q and pick one out.
100.
Better stuff from Steve Douglas. 9 darts to own, he's down to 137. And anything but a maximum for Steve Beaton means that Douglas will have 6 darts from there.
96. So you require 137.
Well, he may do this in just 3. Just wants to set this up nicely.
96.
And does so. So he'll be back for a potential 13 darter. What kind of pressure is Beaton going to put him under?
60.
Not a great deal is the answer for Steve Douglas to get his first leg on the board and reduce the arrears. Straight in there, 13 darter.
Steve Douglas. Full flex, Steve Beaton, the front first. Game on.
And for all we jest about Beaton's nickname and the jokey fun walk-on, he has a fantastic, solid, steady throwing style, and the fact that he's been among the upper echelons of the game for 25 years or so means that he's no mug. A consistent performer over many, many years,
60.
as well as a great character and a decent person to boot. And a qualified driving instructor, let's not forget.
140.
Which is always useful to have another trade up your sleeve.
Oh, look at this from Beaton. Fills it up, first maximum of the match. And it goes to the bronze Adonis.
Can you imagine having your driving lessons from the bronze Adonis, Dan?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Usually most driving lessons I know, they're in a
65.
Nissan Micra or some little car like that. When I picture Beaton driving, it's like with a big white scarf trailing in a Testarossa around a Monaco clifftop road or something.
Yes, it was a mini Metro that I learned to drive in. That's how long ago it was. 97 then for Beaton. He will have some time to come back for the double top, which he's hit 2 out of 2 of.
Oh, filling it up, Steve Douglas.
100.
Not to be, but Steve Beaton. He's 2 for 2 at this double top so far. Oh, has to come down for double 10. That's missed by a long way.
35.
Oh, chasing it all around the board, and Steve Douglas got himself a chance here. 58 left. It's a double top.
55.
This is inside very much like Beaton, so Doesn't want to miss the big number. Straight in the middle to double two for Steve Beaton and a 3-1 lead.
Steve Beaton, fifth leg, Steve Douglas.
And the two-leg advantage is reasserted by Beaton. The defending champion halfway to a place in round 3 where he'd face Wes the Warrior Newton.
45.
Yes, Douglas will see that as a good opportunity missed to break back there, but as it is,
66.
Beaton marches on. The final match of the afternoon session sees Dave Chisnell take on Steve West, and then we'll be back at 7 o'clock local time, 6 o'clock in the UK for 8 more second round matches
100.
and some mouth-watering ties in prospect there. Kicking off the evening with Peter Wright up against John Henderson.
Yeah, and I tell you what,
121.
Kim Hybrecht's Paul Nicholson, speaking with Paul last night, no love lost there were his exact words. Good friends away from the dartboard, but they don't leave anything behind when they get up on stage. They'll be giving it their all.
And Paul Nicholson was in fantastic form last night as he saw off Alex Roy
140.
in the first round. 6 180s. A 161 checkout for Nicholson.
Yeah, it was very impressive stuff.
85.
I think currently he's probably wandering around Berlin. He said he was going to go and check out some of the sites. We'll have to see if that inspires him to a similar performance this evening. But Steve Douglas here looking for double top.
64.
But he will be back. All Beaton can do is apply some pressure. There is going to be some pressure.
88.
Not quite as much as he would have liked though. But Steve Douglas wants double top. Chasing it round the board. Gets it in the end.
Steve Douglas.
A bit of release of the pressure from Steve Douglas. A big roar of approval for the man from Gillingham.
Yes, and just staying on the coattails of the Adonis, who kicks off the 6th leg with a maximum.
Yeah, not a great deal between these two in the averages. You can see there. Beaton nudging ahead on the first 9. Mainly down to those two 180s. Douglas is shading it on the 140s. But the important stat is the legs there. Beaton leads 3-2 and he is throwing here. He knows if he holds his throw and continues to do so, he will win the match. He will go through to play Wes Newton tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon I should say. The first session of the day.
Yes, a great weekend of darts for you wherever you're watching us on livepdc.tv or via Corals or Bet365.
133.
And this competition reaching its conclusion Easter Monday evening. The afternoon session with the 3rd round, then the quarters, the semi and the final.
171.
Superb stuff from Steve Douglas there. A 171 as good as a 180, and that puts him within touching distance of Beaton. There's more pressure on this 110 now. It looked like he was strolling towards this leg.
50.
There's a chance he could lose it without even getting a shot at a double. We shall see. We'll start on the bullseye. So treble 20 to go back for ball. He's got the treble 20. What a shot this would be.
106.
Narrowly misses out Steve Douglas. Valiant effort after the 171 as well. Superb couple of visits. But Steve Beaton, is he going to punish him? Double 10. He's only got 1 dart left.
50. Stevie required 25.
That was well inside the double 10 for Beaton. And is Douglas going to make him pay with this double 12? 1 more dart in his hand.
13.
Just inside. Well,
Stevie required 10.
another one of those pivotal moments you feel
Game shot
in
of
this
the
second
sixth
round of
leg.
the German Darts
Steve
Masters.
Beaton. Seventh leg.
And now re-establishing
Game
a
on.
2-leg lead. Well, that was a fantastic leg of darts for Steve Douglas, but it all came to naught when we got down to the business end of it and unable to check out on the doubles.
Yeah, it was superb work to pressure Beaton and give himself a chance, but no point if you're just not going to hit your doubles. And now can Beaton hit back and put Douglas under pressure on his own throw? Steve Douglas, first 180 of the match for him. It's the third one between the pair of them. He enjoyed it as well. To add to the 171. But he hit in the previous leg. And that's got him back into this leg after a bit of a slow start comparative to Beaton. Oh, this is more like it.
He's great on those treble 19s, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had a lot of success down that part of the board.
97. Steve require 100.
Well, Beaton's left himself the big one. If Douglas can't take this out, 90 left. Now he may go bullseye for tops, he may go treble 18. He went for ball, he'll probably stay there for double top.
53.
Well, it's a smaller target, the ball, than the treble 18. This is huge, we've already seen it today. Not going to happen here.
Yes, we saw Stephen Bunting take it out
130.
in his 6-4 victory over Justin Pipe. Double top then for Steve Douglas to go to within one of the Adonis.
36.
And can't happen, and now a real chance for Beaton to put daylight between himself and his opponent and go to within one leg of victory. He wants double 10,
Game shot
and yes,
seventh leg. Steve Beaton.
that is the quality
Eighth leg. Steve Beaton, the front first. Game on.
and the coolness under pressure which has kept Steve Beaton in the upper echelons of this sport for so many years, and now throwing with darts in hand for the match and a place in round 3 against Wesley Newton.
Yeah, well, Douglas, he threw a 180 in that last leg. He threw a 171 in the leg before that. He ended up losing them both, and it's all come down to
44.
not getting the job done towards the business end of the leg. And Steve Beaton's punished him. He's been nowhere near the calibre that we saw from him in the European Tour last year when he went on that blinding run with a couple of semi-finals, a quarter-final, and of course winning the German Darts Masters. But for his first game this weekend, he looks
84.
to be inexorably moving towards the victory that he needs. And that'll mean that going into the final day of action, he has a chance of defending his title. He leads here by a good 130 points. Only needs to win one more leg out of the next 4.
59.
And right here, right now, is where Steve Beaton wants to end this. And he's going about it in exactly the right way. A solid ton brings him down to a finish. And he'll have 6 darts from there because Douglas isn't going to be near one himself.
100. Steve require 140.
So Steve Beaton to finish it in style.
49.
So we'll be back for 92. And Douglas will just look to put pressure on the shot if he can, but really could do with a treble here.
83.
Well, he got a treble, but not the required one.
Well, Steve Beaton's gone straight at the treble 20. Now double 80 once for a 6-2 victory.
Shot. And the match.
It wasn't electric, it wasn't brilliant, but the defending champion Steve Beaton picks up a regulation 6-2 win against Steve